Kunti Devi.
Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Today we'll speak about being proactive in arranging your life to add more Krishna. Certainly you can feel that the pressures of the age of Kali are mounting. There's so much anxiety, so much depression. An intelligent human being wonders, what is the purpose of human life? Is there any material solution to all the problems and crises of the day? When we look at the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, we see Kunti Devi acknowledging that even though it seems the Pandavas have emerged successfully from the battle of Kurukshetra, there seems to be an even greater tragedy in the offing, that Krishna is leaving Hastinapur to return to Dwarka. So you might be thinking, the battle is over, the storm has broken, let Krishna go. But to Queen Kunti and the Pandavas, this is the greatest disaster of them all. In spite of their material expertise, in spite of their extraordinary powers, they feel completely dependent on Krishna's mercy. And that is a lesson for all of us, that our abilities, talents, assets in the eyes of the world may seem enormous, but they cannot give us real protection. Kunti Devi and her sons know that. They're not fooled by the false prestige of material attainment. They're not fooled by the false shelter of material existence. So she's recognizing that all our prosperity, all our well-being depends on Krishna's presence. Of course, Krishna is never separated from such close associates. But this is the nature of love for Krishna. You get a taste of love in separation from Krishna right in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, where you see Kunti Devi saying the greatest tragedy has yet to come. Therefore you can't go, Krishna. It seems that if there are repeated external tragedies, you're with us. And now that those external tragedies have subsided, you're leaving us. That's the greatest tragedy of them all. So better we have external tragedies and have you around than let there be apparent peace and prosperity, but you're gone. So then she begins to present various reasons why Krishna has appeared. First of all, you have to, especially with Janmashtami coming up, you have to make peace with the fact that the unborn apparently takes birth. Only then can you move on to your next question, which is, why would the unborn apparently take birth? So with Janmashtami coming up in a month and a half or so, you have time to consider, why does Krishna appear in this world? How does he appear in this world? What's his purpose? But today we'll focus on Kunti Devi's presentation that there seems to be a happy ending to the battle of Kurukshetra. We won. But you still cannot go, Krishna. Why? Because there'll be so many descendants of the slain enemies who will want to take revenge upon us. In Brihad Bhagavatamrita, if any of you ever had the chance to read that, you find Narada Muni searching for the greatest devotee. Of course, having His Holiness Jayadvaita Swami here makes me remember Brihad Bhagavatamrita, which I always refer to as the gold standard for literary productions since Srila Prabhupada's departure. So Narada Muni has just been talking with Hanuman. Narada Muni has been told Hanuman is the greatest devotee. But then Hanuman says, no, you haven't seen anything yet. You need to go find the Pandavas. So Narada Muni immediately leaves for Hastinapur. And he enters the city of Hastinapur jubilantly dancing. I found them, I found the greatest devotees. What does he find the Pandavas doing? They're concocting reasons why Krishna should always be with them, because there's danger. They're making it up. Yudhisthira and company. First they consider, maybe we should say to Krishna that there's going to be a great yajna, a huge sacrifice, and therefore he should come. But then they consider, that would take too long to make a massive yajna. Too much time would have to pass. Too much time without Krishna. Okay, maybe there'll be an attack by enemies. That's a great reason to have Krishna come. Of course, the fact is the Pandavas are invincible. But it's part of their love for Krishna that they're manufacturing reasons why Krishna should be with them. They're showing you how to use your intelligence to arrange that Krishna is always present in the center of your life. So I remember in the commentary in Brihad Bhagavatamrita, there it states that there are two ways that Krishna puts his devotees apparently in difficulty. One is to glorify them. The other is to increase their dependency on him. So here you have Yudhisthira and his brothers coming up with reasons why things are going wrong. They're manufacturing this, but this is all part of increasing the presence of Krishna in their life. So Kunti Devi in the first canto of Bhagavatam is pointing out, we're not in the clear yet. We're not out of danger. The sons and grandsons of the slain warriors opposing us, they'll want to take revenge. And then think of what's going to happen if Krishna's footprints are no longer gracing the earth, if Krishna's glance is no longer upon nature, because his footprints are there on the earth. The earth is in such a fortunate situation because his glance is over nature. All the natural resources are abundantly manifesting. But if you go, Krishna, it's just like when the spirit soul leaves a dead body. When the spirit soul leaves a body, the body is dead. What to speak of the name and fame of the body? All finished. So you might say, and it wouldn't be an exaggeration, I think, you might say that Queen Kunti is making the most brilliant guilt trip to put on Krishna. If you go, this will happen, that'll happen, that'll happen. You can't go now because of this, because of that, because of that. Even just the absence of Krishna's footprints is a great disaster. Footprints play a very important role in Krishna Lila. Not only do they bring about an effect, such as Kunti Devi is pointing out, but they also serve to enhance Krishna's own activities. Just like in Damodar Lila. How did footprints play such an important role? You know what happened. Mother Yashoda apparently neglected Krishna while feeding him. The milk was boiling over on the stove. So she put Krishna down. You might say, why didn't she keep holding Krishna and then go to the stove and tend to the milk? But the acharyas explained that she didn't do that because she wouldn't have moved fast enough. So she put Krishna down. In any case, everything in her house is meant for Krishna's pleasure. But Krishna saw an opportunity to show anger and create further pastimes. So you know what happened. She put Krishna down. She went to tend to the milk boiling over on the stove. And Krishna threw a temper tantrum. He bit his lip. Have you ever been so angry that you bite your lip? Any kids here? You ever been so angry you've bit your lip? So first, Krishna breaks the pot that was churning yogurt into butter. He takes a stone and breaks that. And naturally that creates a mess of yogurt on the floor. Then Krishna goes into another room where there's butter hanging from the roof, and he deals with that, feeding butter to the monkey. Mother Yashoda, how does she figure out what's going on? She sees the broken churning pot. Yes, she understands it's Krishna who's done it. But how does she find Krishna? Following the yogurt-smeared footprints. This is detective work in Vrindavan. You want to track down the butter thief? Watch for those butter-smeared footprints, yogurt-smeared footprints. So she tried to sneak up on Krishna to catch him in the act, to catch him red-handed. But Krishna is always looking over both shoulders, watching for when she may come. So this is what footprints have done. They've allowed Mother Yashoda to track Krishna down. The footprints combined with the sounds. She heard the sounds coming from the other room. So she put everything together, all the clues, all the hints, and she took action. Another Krishna Lila in which Krishna's footprints play an extraordinary role is dealing with the Kalia serpent. How did the Brijbasis first become aware that there is an extraordinary problem, an unprecedented catastrophe? First, there were omens, malefic omens, bad omens, meteors shooting through the sky, earthquakes on the ground. The left eye was quivering. Immediately, everyone thought about Krishna. Not about their own safety. That was not the first thought at all. Where is Krishna? He's gone to the Yamuna without Balaram. Oh no. Instantly they thought, these ill omens mean Krishna is being threatened. There's danger for Krishna. Of course, Balaram had not gone to the Yamuna. Balaram was there in the village. And Balaram, with his omniscience, understood there's no need to fear for any problem happening to my brother. But Balaram didn't say anything. He knew that I can't inform them if it's not Krishna's desire. I don't want to interfere with the Leela. So I won't say anything. He just smiled. His smile did calm them down a bit. Otherwise, they were becoming transcendently hysterical. So they all decided on the spot, let's go find Krishna. So the whole village pours out, searching for Krishna. It was not hard to find where Krishna went because his footprints are always there. No one in the village would step on Krishna's footprints, not even the animals. Everyone respected Krishna's footprints by letting them stay. So that's how the Brijbasis could track Krishna down. They followed the footprints to the bank of the Yamuna River, where the most, in their eyes, the most terrifying sight greeted them. Krishna caught in the grips of Kalia, frozen, not moving. The first thing they did was try to ask the cowherd boys who had been on the spot earlier, what happened? Did Krishna jump into this poisonous lake? Or did Kalia drag him in? But the cowherd boys couldn't answer. They were stunned, unconscious. So without the footprints, how would they have tracked Krishna down? The footprints played such a major role. But there's an even more intimate way that the footprints triggered events in Krishna Lila. In the Rasa Lila, as it unfolded, Krishna left the company of the gopis. They were roaming throughout the forest in the middle of the night in Vrindavan, trying to find Krishna, having no idea where he was. They're asking the trees, they're asking the plants, they're asking the earth. And then they see Krishna's footprints. Unmistakable. These are Krishna's footprints. They follow those footprints. And then they see another set of footprints alongside Krishna's footprints. They immediately understand what's going on. Krishna has left our company and gone off with someone who has surpassed us in excellence. They follow those double set of footprints. And then They can tell exactly what's going on just by staring at the footprints. Just by scrutinizing the footprints. They can tell. Here, Krishna must have reached up to some branches. Look at the impressions of the feet. You only see half of the footprint. He must have stood on his toes, reaching up. Here we can tell by looking at the ground that Krishna must have taken this most favorite girlfriend and putting flowers in her hair. They could construct exactly what was going on. At least we can understand that without Krishna's pleasure, how is this earth going to be prosperous and safe? And that is Queen Kunti Devi's point. In other words, Krishna Lila has not only lessons about the most exquisite love of Krishna, but it also has lessons about how we can live a sane and sober lifestyle in a sane and sober society. And of course, today we don't have a sane and sober society. We have a society that destroys our stability, destroys our vitality, yet is so proud that human beings are making progress. This kind of pride prevents a human being from understanding his or her true mission in life. The pride blinds us so much. We think we can be successful without Krishna. Kunti Devi's prayers say no. She's telling Krishna, begging him in a very eloquent way, please don't go without your glance. Nature will never reveal its bounty. Without your footprints on the earth will never be in a favorable situation. And then her son Yudhisthira makes his famous plea. My dear Krishna, please just stay a few days longer. And because of Yudhisthira's love and the love of the Pandavas, Krishna agrees. I remember reading this as a brand new, aspiring devotee. 1970, this section of Bhagavatam. I wasn't living in the temple then. There was a Radio Krishna. So they would play lectures of Prabhupada every Saturday morning around 10 a.m. So I made sure to be awake at that time. It was a great austerity. So I would just listen to the lectures. I couldn't understand the accent, but there was something so profound about the listening experience. I caught a few parts of the lecture I could understand, but I remember this part of the first canto where Yudhisthira says to Krishna, my dear Krishna, please stay a few days longer. And Krishna agreed. So Srila Prabhupada said that so momentously, I could never forget it. My dear Lord Krishna, please stay a few days longer. I began to wonder, why is this so significant? Little did I know that I was starting to wonder about love of Krishna, about the depths of bhakti, even in the first canto. So you all have that opportunity to not only detach yourself from material life, but you have the opportunity to attach yourself more deeply to Krishna. So just remember Narada Muni coming upon the Pandavas in Hastinapur, and how the Pandavas are scheming, artificially coming up with artificial reasons why Krishna should be there. Well, we could say there's a big yajna. We discussed that. We could say that they're enemies. We discussed that. The whole point is they're using their intelligence how to have Krishna in the center of their life. How to increase Krishna's presence. Everything about Krishna is significant. His footprints, his butter-smeared footprints, his footprints in the forest in the middle of the night, his footprints on the path of the Yamuna River. If Krishna's footprints are so important, certainly we can start to understand the difference between Krishna and us. At Georgia Tech University the other day, we had a nice program attended by maybe 60 persons, and one of the professors there, apparently a regular at the programs, came up and in a very gentle way presented that she's totally immersed in Advaita Vedanta. So I said, well, why not consider Bhagavad Gita as evidence? She said, oh, only the Upanishads. I said, what about Gita Upanishad? No, just the real Upanishads. I saw she was quite determined to avoid Krishna, yet she was coming to the programs. All right. So I said, let's talk about the Upanishads. Her eyes lit up. I said, Nityo Nityanam, Chaitanas Chaitananam. Out of all the infinite numbers of eternal beings, there's one chief. Out of all the conscious beings, there's one chief. And what's the difference between that one and all the others? Eko bahunamiyo vidadati kama. That one maintains all the others. She looked at me and smiled and said, Eka, the one. And that's the only part of the verse she would focus on. The one. So at that point I realized there are other people at the program to talk to. So persistent to avoid Krishna. How does such a misfortune come upon us? And here we are relishing Krishna's footprints. Butter-smeared footprints, yogurt-smeared footprints, footprints leading to the Yamuna amidst what seems to be the greatest catastrophe, footprints in the middle of the night. Sharat Purnima. Why is it that we make plans to be successful without Krishna in our life, or without increasing the presence of Krishna in our life? To be a bhakta means to be moving forward. It is very nice to believe in Krishna, but much, much, much better it is to actively engage in Krishna's service. Suppose one of your children says to you, you know, Mother, I do believe that you're my mother. How significant would that be for you? No, you want a loving relationship. Or at least you want the child to be obedient and behave and do things properly. So why do we consider it such a great achievement just to express, I believe in Krishna? Bhakti involves the active engagement in devotional service. That's what Krishna asked for in Bhagavad Gita. The more we engage in devotional service, the more we appreciate Krishna's unlimited beauty, Krishna's infinite attractiveness. What does it mean to engage in Krishna's service? Use your senses. Use your resources. Srimad Bhagavatam says, Pranar Artar Diya Vacha. You give your whole life's energies for Krishna's seva. Arta, you give your wealth. Diya, you use your intelligence to formulate plans how to serve Krishna better. Vacha, you use your words to glorify Krishna. You use your words to instruct others about Krishna. Then your life is truly successful. So as we approach Sri Krishna Janmashtami, let's make plans how we can increase the presence of Krishna in our life. In this way, we'll truly be the most successful. We'll have the best career. And maybe one day we'll get to the point where we're so situated in our relationship with Krishna that we can concoct dangers. Krishna, don't go. There's this, there's that, there's that. Of course, living in this world, in the material world, is dangerous in of itself at every step. But we don't have to remain in the clutches of such material dangers. By increasing our dependency on Krishna, we're in the safest situation. And that's what Narada came upon in Hastinapur. He's sent by Hanuman. He found the Pandavas so safe, yet here they are scheming to come up with imaginary dangers so that Krishna will be with them. This is how attractive Krishna is, unlimitedly attractive. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Any questions? Comments from His Holiness Jayadvaita Maharaj? He says no. I had to give it a try. Yes.
When we read Krishna book, there is a lot of emphasis on Krishna walking Krishna's footprints in Vrindavan. So is it that Krishna in Vrindavan does not wear shoes and Krishna in Dwarka and Mathura wears shoes? Is there some... I've been meditating on this. Did I always worship the lotus feet of Krishna?
Are you always meditating on the lotus feet of Krishna in Vrindavan or Dwarka?
So is that Krishna wears shoes in Vrindavan? Is the question.
We'll ask Maharaj. You want to give a go to it? We don't want to speculate. But I'm glad you're thinking of Krishna's lotus feet.